Hey, how's it going today? I'm out here in my shop, just getting ready to start a set of video series for you guys. Hopefully I can keep up with it and continue doing it for you. I know I've had some requests to do this, so I'm going to show you today how to go ahead and make a fairy garden item, just a small little piece, something to start out with that I know everyone out there can do. You don't need a whole lot of tools, just a inexpensive rotary tool from anywhere, and you guys can get started. I'm going to show you the process I go through when I grab a hunk of wood and I start working on it. So I've done things like this one. Some of you may or may not have seen this. This is just something I do. I sit in the evening and have a good time just playing around. This is another one. The wood just tells you what to do. You just start carving and things start popping in your head and you just start saying, okay, this is what this is going to be. But what we're going to do is we're going to do something simple just from a chunk of wood that was found on the ground. I always call it fogwood as a joke. That just means found on ground. I saw that in some woodworker video somewhere. This is the type of thing we're going to be doing. I'm going to show you how I go about figuring out where maybe a door should be, the window, bricks, stonework, maybe even a chimney up on top. And then once that piece is all finished, the last part we'll do is I'll show you how I put like an oil stain on it and then just a little bit of dry brush paint to give it some color. This way you can go ahead and put it in a plant, on a windowsill, on your desktop, whatever you want. So let's get started. What I've decided on is something just simple, and this is what I would suggest you do. Start simple. So I'm going to take this, and I feel like this should be a door, and I feel like this can be a brick wall. Maybe over here we'll do some stone, but let's take a look. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do just a preliminary carving on this. I'm going to kind of smooth this down just a little bit. And the reason for that is, and you should probably do this too, is I want a nice smooth area where I can put just a drawing on here of an outline of what I want that door to look like, where I want hinges, where I want the doorknob, where I want a window in it, if that's what I want to do, any kind of framing around it. I want to be able to see all of that. So let me go ahead and get this thing carved, and then we'll take a look at it. I'm going to go ahead and take my Dremel tool now and go ahead and make an area for where this doorway is going to be. So as you can see, what I've done is just made a nice spot right here so that I can go ahead and make a drawing on here of where I want this doorway to be. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so now that I've gone and done this, let's go ahead and I'm going to take this same tool, and I'm not really going into the different bits here. You can see that other places. I'm just showing you my technique on how I come up with the design on here, okay? If you want to see something on the different bits and how they're used, let me know in the comments and I'll go ahead and I'll make something. I do know there's videos out there. That's how I learned, is through YouTube. So let me go ahead and let's get this piece done. You guys see that dust flying everywhere? I'm going to go ahead and turn on my dust collection, and I want you to see the difference. It's a lot louder, but I want you to see this difference. So a huge mistake that beginners will make, let's see if that helps. A huge mistake beginners make will be that they don't make things deep enough. They don't feel that going deep is gonna do anything. It's really, you need to overemphasize your cutouts in these things, because you need to be able to get that light. You need to be able to get that shadow to show, and in order for that to show, it's got to go deeper. So this is down almost 1/4 of an inch. It's between 1/8 and 1/4. It's pretty deep in there. So now what I'll do, now that I've got that main outline done, I'm going to go ahead and put in the door frame. And again, not perfect, doesn't matter, as long as I can see where I want it to be and about how far away from the edge I want it. Well, I'm also doing that because that's going to go deep. Again, I need to cut it deeper. I'm going to go ahead and put the window in. I also want to put where the doorknob is going to be. Just the wooden handle is all I'm doing here. And then I need to put the metal hinges. So there we have metal hinges. So now that I have this roughed out, I've got this nice and deep roughed out in here, I'm going to go ahead and get myself a more fine bit to go and do some more work on here. So this is just a straight bit, but it'll give me a nice clean edge. I'm going to go ahead and add in where I think I want to put these hinges. Again, you want to over-exaggerate your cuts. Always want to over-exaggerate those cuts. And I'm feathering away from the cut. So this hinge is at the same depth as the main door. I don't want to go any deeper with the door, but I can feather away. So it's deep around the hinge, but I can just feather it back. Now let's go ahead and put the window in. So there we go, we've got a window. Is it perfect? No, yours isn't going to be either, but that's perfectly fine because the overall effect, once you're done, you're going to be the one that notices it, not everybody else. You'll notice that well, maybe you don't, but these edges are rounded in here because I used a rounder bit. So now I want to point that out. Make it a nice sharp piece, a nice sharp corner. I also want to outline that window a little bit. want to go. Everybody knows with a door, there's a bit of a crack in your door. So we need to make that on here. And again, I'm over accentuating it so that you can see it. Now, I'm going up to where the hinge is, skipping the hinge, and going over. There we have our hinges. We have the outline for the door. Hinges now need some bolts. There's our hinges. Now this door is made out of wood slats, so let's do that. You'll notice I did not draw these lines in. If you're comfortable doing it this way, go right ahead. If not, draw those lines in first so that you know exactly where you want to go. And get this, you have to go slow here. It may look like I'm going quickly, but you really do need to go slow because the grain of your wood, you may catch on it, and if that grain does a squiggly little pattern, you're going to go off and you're going to make this weird angled line, and it won't look good. I always have one of these little guys on hand. It's just a brass brush. You can get it at any hardware store. They're cheap, and I use it to smooth everything out, to wipe off all the rough edges. We now have a doorway. Not too bad, huh? There we have it. We have a door. Pretty simple to do, pretty basic. I'm going to go ahead and look at this one for a little bit, decide what more I want to do, where I want to put my brick wall, right up the side, probably. This kind of reminds me of a chimney, so maybe we're going to have a chimney up on top. We'll take a look. We'll see what we want to do with this. This seems like this is going to be something kind of cool over here. Don't know what it is yet. Also, if you wanted to, depending on how your wood looks, if it flares out, you could have had a set of steps that go up, and then your door starts a little higher. This one didn't lend itself to that, so that's not what we did, obviously, but yours may have that. So again, look at the wood. Let the wood tell you what it wants to be. So I'm really hoping that you enjoyed this video today. I plan on trying my best to keep up and do something a little bit more often than the 2 years ago, I believe, that I had my last video. I'm going to go ahead and try to show you a little bit more of how this works. I'm going to go ahead and get something else ready for here. Again, I want to think about this. I need to take a look at it. So I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope you'll like and subscribe, share the video. That helps me out. You can take a look at my Facebook, Instagram page as well. I'm on there, and I'll go ahead and try to get that next video out for you pretty quickly. Thank you so much for watching today, and I will talk to you all soon.